All right. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you're seeing this video. So, when it comes to trading psychology, I don't think there's any serious talk that has to do with the candlesticks on chart and everything. It's more like a one-on-one conversation with you and this person you're actually teaching. There's something about trading psychology. Trading psychology cannot be 100% taught because it's something you must experience, something you have to, experience on your own. You get to see these things work out on your own. Then maybe with time, you can only use the experience of a trader to actually know how to succeed during this psychological trauma, or should I call it times, the bad times like this is mostly the psychology. So there are mostly many things you should know about trading psychology even before going into the trading strategy. That was why I told you I updated the outline to trading psychology first before trading strategy, because with the bad psychology there's no good strategy. It's the trading psychology that makes you um shows if you're profitable or not. So that's one of the difficulties we have in trading forex market. Trading psychology. Trading psychology, like you heard the word psychology. What does it really imply? Yeah, from the word psychology, you know that psychology is actually talking about the act or the way people react to trading, the thoughts, their mind. How do they react to a trade? How do they manage their trades emotionally? And yeah, when you're talking about emotionally, you're talking about the psychological way of managing your trade. What is those effects it has to do, or what are those effects that go on from your mind? Now, trading psychology is like 80% of trading. I don't know if you've heard, or maybe it's your first time, or if you've heard, if it's 80%. It's actually, for me, it's very, very true, because without a psychology, you cannot be a profitable trader, because apart from taking those trades, the decision making is the biggest game, or is the biggest part of the game. How do I take this trade? When do I exit from this trade? Should I really hold on to the trade? Should I be in this trade? Why am I trading this particular pair at this particular time? It's all the mind game. So if you cannot really control your psychology, then you're definitely gonna lose yourself when it comes to trading, because bad decision making can also lead to bad trading psychology, which will lead to constant losses. How do you really manage your trades comes from your psychology, because the trading action is done by your thoughts, your mind. The decision is made by your brain and your mind, not just what you've just seen on chart. There are some people that don't even trade on what they see, they trade on what they think they should be doing as at that time. So there are different ways to trading. People approach trading by what they feel or what they think, while people approach trading by what they see in the picture. So these are two different ways of approaching trading. And if you approach trading by what you think, what you feel, that is a big way to feel. One of the easiest way to feel is by trading what you feel is correct, or what you think, ignoring what you've seen. So it all has to do with the trading psychology. So for me now, I know psychology has been one of my biggest problem. Your strategy, my strategy is actually 70% win rate. I have seen it work out so many places, and yeah, I know it's 70% win rate, but why am I not still profitable is from the strategy, not really from the strategy, is the psychology. Like I said, the strategy has its own way, but how do you react to this trade? How do you control your mind is actually a bigger aspect of trading, because you can have a strategy but you don't know how to trade them rightly, and if you're not trading them rightly you cannot make money off the market. So so today I'm actually going to be talking about introduction to trading psychology, which I guess I just did now. Then I'll be talking about three outline here, which is like the why 90% of traders fail, psychology versus strategy. Then the role of emotions in trading, that will be the second thing I'll be talking about. Then the last one is common psychological traps. we we get there. So the first part of the introduction to trading psychology as a topic is why 90% traders fail. So I don't know if I can give like a real life scenario in trading, because trading has to do with buying and selling. Now, let's just say in a real life scenario, you have like, I don't know, what can I really relate this trading to apart from using the charts and strategy? Okay, let's just say you have a strategy to approach a particular things in life, or should I call it, as a student, your strategy of passing your examination is reading. You prepare like 2 days, 3 days, or even 1 month before the exams shows up, and you've seen that over time, these are testimony people have gotten so far, that reading 1 month before the exam is actually going to give you an edge, like give you a strong balance in performing very well in your exam, provided you know what you've read, you understood everything. And 1 month before your examination is like a long time to cover up more topics, outline, and everything. And this is the strategy part of the whole schooling, academical stuff. Then psychology is now, aside from reading as a strategy, how do you write this exam? That is the psychological aspect of your coming out successful as a student, because what you think in the exam hall is different from is actually what is going to give rise to your answers. If you're not certain about what you read, as I'm talking about psychology now, you're not really going to deliver very well in the exam hall, because you'll be confused, you'll be uncertain. When there's uncertainty, you cannot really answer a question with enough confidence. There'll be less confidence in your answers. You'll be making a lot of mistakes. It doesn't mean that reading before the exam or 1 month is not working. It's just that your psychology, which is answering the questions rightly, is bad. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's just why I feel like. So you can prepare 1 month before an examination, but when you get into the hall, due to the fact that you have a bad psychology, you start mixing what you're not supposed to be answering, or you start answering a particular question wrongly, or you start mixing answers. It can still lead to failure. It doesn't mean your strategy is not working. The strategy of reading 1 month before the exam is not working. It's just you that have a bad psychology. You can also go to the exam hall and there's no confidence in what you know. There's no confidence in your answers. Like you don't really have this 100% certainty of your answers, and you start looking for answers, or start should I say, how do I even put this word now? You can start depending on others, and they might actually turn up giving you the wrong answers. Meanwhile, you had the right answers because you did not have enough confidence in yourself about your answers. It can also lead to failure. It doesn't mean that you did not prepare for the exam. It doesn't mean that the strategy of reading 1 month before the exam doesn't work. Other people are getting results, but because you don't believe in those your answers, you don't approach the examination question correctly, makes you have a different result from others. That's just how trading is. If you do it the wrong way, it doesn't mean that the whole process is not working. It's just that you've not approached it in the right manner. So the psychology is the whole game. Yeah. Just like reading, you can be reading for 1 month straight up, and just in less than 4 hours of the examination period, how you approach those questions is really going to show if you've read correctly or not. You can even read correctly, but answering those questions in the hall is what matters. And what can really help you do that is not because you've read, is the approach towards the examination questions. You can even come up and not read the instructions on the exam paper and just fill up answers. You still fail, even though they are correct. But yes, you did well. You read, you spent enough time back testing, doing everything. You've seen that this strategy is working, but why you're not making results? You're not actually doing something right. Either you're not following the same you're not following the right approach, you're not reading instructions, you don't have a plan, you're overrisking. These are what can lead to failure in trading. So that's just it. So why 90% traders fail is because they have bad psychology. I'll give you like 4 reasons, and I'm also going to be using myself throughout this video, because, like I said, I'm having psychological crisis in trading. So this is the best time for me to even do this video. And I'm also working on myself. Like I'm going to list like 5 reasons why traders fail. So let's go.